See what I have to put up with out here on tour. Now, spoiler alert, this is not what we're doing out in my shows. Nice, man. Well, good morning. This is day 2. We're getting started, and just wanted to show you this kind of the scene from the Airbnb where we were at, and it's right along a canal. Absolutely gorgeous. Had a great night. We're off to Peterborough. See you soon. Well, hello, friends. It is day 2 of this party music launch tour, and I talked last night about Montreal. It was wound up being a really good time, and we had a great Airbnb. It was nice to get a good night's sleep after a big day on the road, and this is kind of a second big-ish day, but we were joking today that, you know, having to drive like 450 kilometers is like a meh, then well, that's tour for you. And yeah, we're just hopping along. We're caffeinated. We are fueled up on Tim Hortons breakfast bagel sandwiches. And we're on the 401, but we're not on the bad part yet. We're not yet to Kingston, Ontario. So been listening to tunes, listening to some Kurt Elling, which will most likely influence a bit of my singing tonight and make it a little crazier than normal, but you know, it's always a good time. And yeah, so one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit that I didn't touch on when I was out on tour in November and haven't talked about yet is that in New Brunswick we have an organization called MusiqueNB, Musiikki, because it's a bilingual province, and they do their very best to help support and promote New Brunswick-based music artists. And we're a small province. You know, we don't have a huge population. It's like 750,000 tops. But man, the number of great artists is incredible. Like I'm blown away. And now that I'm kind of a part of that scene, so many of my friends that I spend time with these days are also artists. And it's unbelievable when you go to something like the Music New Brunswick conference and go to the showcases, and it's like 10 bands a night of just stuff that'll blow your mind. So, you know, lots of wonderful music being made, and Music New Brunswick is very supportive. And what happened after my last tour is that I got word that I had received grant support for tour expenses. So that made my first tour back in November way more palatable. It was a great early Christmas present, to be honest. And so I have an application in again for this tour. Not sure if it'll be funded or not. It's very competitive, and as I said, there's a ton of great artists that are applying to travel and tour and spread the love of our music all over the place. But either way, you know, I'm greatly appreciative of their support. They helped put together some really good-looking, professional quality videos that I've been posting on my channel. So I really want to give a huge shout-out to Music New Brunswick. Liam's other primary music project, the Montgomery Street Band, is actually this cool sort of bluegrass collective. I think that's a fair thing to say. Yep. And they're heading on a nationwide tour all the entire month of May. So they're going from New Brunswick to BC and back. And they're also, you know, hoping for funding from Music New Brunswick. But again, we understand that if we don't get it, then there are lots of worthy artists that are competing for.
It'll go to someone else that needs it.
Absolutely, a finite amount of change. But again, I just wanted to acknowledge that support. I thought it was important to take a few minutes and talk about it, not just as like a throwaway, oh, by the way, this was brought to you by Support of Music New Brunswick. So they've been helping me, and it has really made you know, the last tour, and then, you know, that carries forward, right? So this tour is more feasible, and it's just helping me grow my my music business, if you will. I don't like to think of it as a business, but that's really what it is, an entrepreneurship based around my art. Anyway, it's kind of a rainy day on and off, but really not too bad. And yeah, we're just looking forward to getting to Peterborough and playing an early show there tonight. Staying in Peterborough, moving on. So we got to pick up a few things, probably at the music store when we get there, chill, check into our Airbnb, figure out what time they want us to load our gear into the venue so that we're not in their way while they're serving the supper rush, because it's a pub and restaurant tonight. And yeah, things are good. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to try and grab some footage tonight because we have a little bit more time, and unless something unforeseen happens, I won't be double booked tonight, and we won't have to scramble and figure out what's going on. We should have time to kind of spread out and grab a few videos. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks for following along. Great response on yesterday's video. Thank you so much. And to those of you that I haven't met that are in the various different towns where we're coming to play, thank you so much for sharing the videos and helping spread the word. That means a whole lot to us. You know, coming from out of province and nobody knows who you are, that can make the world a difference on a tour like this. And it already did last night. There were a bunch of people that had seen me. There were a couple of people that had seen me in Montreal before that shared the news that I was coming back. They brought friends. It was a super warm welcome. So, you know, that's everything to us out here, and I want to really sincerely thank you for that. So hope to see those of you that I haven't met in person at a show out on this tour or on future tours. And please come up and say hi afterwards or in between sets and introduce yourselves. I want to meet and connect with as many of you as possible. So that's it for now. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Music New Brunswick. And we will catch you on the flip side a little bit later on today, because we are now starting to head into the part of the 401 that it just kind of progressively sucks the further we go towards Toronto. So we kind of have smooth sailing right now. Well, we very much have smooth sailing right now. It feels much like driving through New Brunswick, where you can figure out how long it's going to take you to get from point A to point B based solely on two factors. One factor is how far is it, and the other factor is how fast are you willing to drive, because nothing is going to get in your way. And hopefully nothing gets in your way today, guys. I know, cheesy sign off, and probably not even the end of this video, because there will be more footage later. I'm going to shut up. Talk later. Alright, so we made it to Peterborough with time to burn. What does one do in Peterborough when you have some time to kill? That's right. See you in a bit. Well, what's going on, friends? It is Colin, and we are at the end of our day today. Had a great night. Very warm welcome in Peterborough, despite it being a blustery, cold, and windy day. And it was garbage day, too, so there's just like garbage cans and recycling cans blowing all over the city. You have to dodge them because they just randomly run out into traffic. It was something else. Anyway, played us 2 sets at the Black Horse pub tonight, and there was not a huge crowd to start out the night, but you know, some very attentive audience members, and they really liked what they heard, so they got on social media and told their friends and invited their friends, and by the end of the night we had a really great room, and anyway, I just couldn't be happier about how tonight turned out. And we're now just chilling at our Airbnb. Have Liam serenading me in the background, just playing some jazz guitar. He's got this Ibanez with flat wound strings on it, so it's really soft sounding, and so playing it in our Airbnb isn't going to piss anyone off too much. Anyway, tomorrow we're off to Oshawa, and looking forward to that show also, and we'll talk more in the morning. Cheers. Thanks for all the support, and yeah, we'll talk to you tomorrow.